Hello students, today I am going to teach you about the legislature. There are three organs of the government: legislature, executive and judiciary. So in this chapter, first chapter of civics, we will know about the union legislature, the union parliament, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. First of all, we should know about the parliament. What is parliament? Our parliament is a true representation of we, the people of India. Its members come from every region, community and religion. Parliament makes laws, exercises control over Council of Ministers, considers issues concerning citizens and passes budget. India is now truly the largest functioning democracy in the world. Now the definition of parliament. The parliament is the body of people's representatives who have supreme power of governance in a democratic country. The parliament word is derived from the French expression parlement, which means speaking. A parliament may be defined as a representative body whose permission is constitutionally required to make or change the country's laws. The parliament has also the power to control the executive, means the Union Council of Ministers. Its control over national budget is recognized principle of democratic government. So this is the definition of parliament. The constitution provides for the parliament of the Union of India these three components: the president, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Before knowing the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, first we will see the type of government. There are two types of government, unitary and federal. First we will know about the unitary government. Unitary government is that government in which all the powers of the government are in the hands of one central government. Central level make laws and followed by the whole country. These laws are followed by the whole country. The power of the state government is weak. The powers being used by the local government are not their original power. Rather, these are the delegated to them by the central government. And the central government can increase or decrease their powers. Countries like England, Japan, France, Italy, etc. have unitary government. India has not the unitary government. So these are some features of the unitary government, which we will discuss one by one. As in the map of world, we can know this blue part as the unitary type of government and green part federal type of government. These are the features of unitary type of government. Number one, single administration. In a unitary government, all the powers of the government are in the hands of one central government. The Indian Constitution is said to be federal in form but unitary in spirit. Next is no division of subjects. In unitary government, there is no division of subjects between the center and the states, as all the subjects are in the hands of one central government. The Constitution of India provides for a strong center. In the division of powers, the union list has 97 subjects, while the state list 66 subjects, and the concurrent list has 47 subjects, on which both center and the states have the power to legislate. In case of conflict, the laws made by the central government are 12. Next is rigid or flexible constitution. In unitary government, the constitution can be rigid as well as flexible. The French constitution is rigid, where that of England is flexible. Next is single citizenship. in unitary government, the principle of single citizenship is adopted. There is no provision of separate citizen of the province. Next is inequality of representation in the Rajya Sabha. Our constitution does not accord equal representation to all the states. It accords representation to the various states in the Rajya Sabha on the basis of their population. This means that the states with larger populations send more representatives in comparison to the states with smaller population. Further, Rajya Sabha has also 12 members nominated by the President from amongst persons who have specialized in the field of art, literature, science and social service. So this is a clear departure from the federal principle. Next is existence of union territories. Another feature which is clear pointer of the unitary character of the Indian Constitution is the existence of administrative units known as the union territories. These units are directly governed by the central government and do not enjoy any independent powers to autonomy. Now we will know about the federal type of government. The Constitution of India has provided for a federal system of government. In a federal system of government, all the administrative powers are divided between the central and the state government by the Constitution, and both are supreme within their respective spheres. The state government are not the agents of the central government, nor do they draw their authority from it. On the other hand, both the central and the state government draw their authority from the same Constitution. India has opted for a federal system of government, though with a strong unitary bias. Here also we will know about some of the features or the characteristics of the federal government. Number 1. It is a written constitution. In a federal type of government, the constitution is written. There is double administration in this government, central administration and the administration of provinces. So there is always a possibility of the disputes between the two governments, but a written constitution decreases the possibility of disputes between the center and the states. India has a written constitution. Next is rigid constitution. The second feature of this federal type of government is a rigid constitution. The constitutional law is given the supreme position over ordinary law, and a special majority is needed to amend the constitution. The constitution is amended by the center and the state jointly. In India, some articles of the constitution are open to amendment by parliament by simple majority or by a 2/3 majority. Next is supremacy of the constitution. In a federal government, the constitution is given supremacy over an ordinary law. The central or state governments cannot pass any law which violates any provision of the constitution. Next is division of subjects. In a federal government, the subjects are divided. The subjects of national importance are given to the central government, whereas subjects of the local importance to the state governments and of common importance are kept in the concurrent list. Next is the double set of government. In a federal government, there is a double set of government, union government and the state government. The union government runs the administration of entire country, and the state government runs the administration of the respective states. Both the governments are independent in their respective spheres. Next is bicameral legislature. In a federal government, there is a provision for the bicameral legislature. The lower house represents the entire population of the state and the upper house represents the units of the federation. Provision for bicameral legislatures exist in federal countries like America, Switzerland, etc. India has a bicameral legislature, means the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Next is independent judiciary. The Supreme Court is the apex court. It safeguards the distribution of powers between the union and the state governments and prevents any action which violates the constitution. In India, the federal system is important for maintaining the unity and integrity of nation. In brief, we can say in federal type of government, power is divided into the central and the state government. In comparison of both the governments, central government is more powerful than state government. As central government is there and there are different states, our India is divided into different states. The main power or the central government is the powerful than the state government. In our next class, we will be knowing about the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. So take care.